Hey everybody, how are you? Chad Thibodeaux, and welcome to another Monday morning training. I'm so glad that you are here. If you are just joining us and you're not familiar with the training, every single Monday I jump on a Facebook Live and I take some component of business, some component of marketing, some component of just life, and I try to teach it in a pretty exhaustive way so it can help you in your life, help you with your family, help you with your business, and ultimately together you and I can change the world. I'm so glad that you guys are with me today. And I'm going to be answering a question that many of you really have not ever stopped to ask. And I believe it is an incredibly important question to ask. And that is do you need a consultant, a coach, a guide, a mentor, or an implementer? Now, in my business, there's a lot of people who do coaching. I do online coaching. But I think sometimes we can get a little bit confused on as far as, the difference between a consultant, a coach, a guide, a mentor, and an implementer. In fact, so many of you, you're probably just joining and you're like, I didn't even know there was a difference. And so that's what I want to do today. I want to talk with you about that. And really what I want to do is I want to hone in. Perhaps you're thinking about starting a business or you're thinking about creating a side hustle and you want some extra income. Well, I want to talk to you about exactly what you need. Now, Chris Orzakowski says Implementor, definitely. Absolutely. In fact, Chris is an incredible implementer. He's one of the best copywriters in the business. And so welcome, Chris. So glad that you are here. In fact, Chris, I got to get you on my show really soon. But hey, let's jump into this. And you may see, I'm going to share this with you. You may see that I've got some rough slides up today. The reason is because this is going to be a working coaching session today, okay? A working coaching session today. So if you're coming on, let me know who you are, where you're from, and what do you think you need? Do you need a consultant, a coach, a guide, a mentor, or an implementer? Which one do you think that you need? And we're going to build this out together as we go. So let's start with what I would call the consultant. Now, what is the consultant? Well, we're going to build these slides as we go. But what a consultant does is a consultant starts with this premise. They want to assess your current reality. So, for instance, perhaps you have a business already and you're trying to increase your profit margin or whatever, and you don't really know what's going on. A consultant is going to come in and they're going to start with assessing your current reality. So when I was in church world last several years in that business, what I would do is I wrote a training guide, a book called The 90-Day Turnaround, where we could go into a church and in 90 days, we could turn them around from drab to fab and get them from dying to growing within 90 days. And I created a 7-step process. And the number one step in that process was assessment. You have to assess your current reality. So many of our businesses, you're sort of stagnant and you're trying to think about what to do in the future, but you don't ever take time to stop and think about where are you right this moment. And some of you need to stop and you need to say, where am I currently? So a good consultant is going to assess your current reality. Now, here's the big one. He's going to report it to you. This is incredibly important. Objectively, okay? He's going to be a set of outside eyes, or she's going to be a set of outside eyes, and honestly, okay? This is incredibly important for you. Now, the reason why this is so important is because sometimes you have a tendency to argue with your consultant. Well, that's not really the case, okay? Well, consultants, they are trained to be able to look at your current business, assess it in its current reality, and give it back to you in an objective and honest manner to be able to give you some input. And then the third thing that they're going to do, in addition to reporting it to you objectively and honestly, is then they're going to give you prescriptions, okay, for change. They're going to give you prescriptions for change. And this is what a consultant does. They do these three things. They assess your current reality, they report it to you objectively and honestly, and then they give you prescriptions for change. Now, let's think about whether your business is a candidate for a consultant or not. So many of you in my world, you are familiar with Russell Brunson and the company called ClickFunnels. Well, Russell Brunson probably needs to hire consultants, not coaches, not guides, not mentors. Obviously, he'll have implementers, but he really needs to hire a consultant when he's maybe going to launch a new product or going to take his business to the next level, he will hire a set of consultants to come in to assess the current reality, report it to them objectively and honestly, and then give them particular prescriptions for change. Okay, consultants are paid for opinions. That's it. They're not doers. They're not implementers. They simply are going to give you an opinion on where you are. So how do you know whether this is where you are or not? If you have an existing business, you've already launched a product, you begin making money on that particular product, and perhaps it has stagnated or it's beginning to decline, you are a classic candidate for a consultant, someone who can come in, assess your current reality, report it to you objectively and honestly, and give you prescription for changes. And this isn't even true necessarily, specifically true only for businesses. This could be in life, okay? In life, you think about that. Let's say that you're trying to date, okay? And you're trying to figure out why the heck do you keep attracting the same garbage day after day after day. Well, perhaps you need a consultant, a life consultant, to come in and to assess your current reality, report it to you objectively and honestly, and then give you some prescriptions for change. A consultant, they give you an opinion on where you are, what you need to do to make positive changes in your life and in your business. That's what a consultant does. Kristen says, I'll have to tune in later. I can't wait to watch. I'm a marketing consultant in sales. I find most people I talk to need social media management. I struggle with how to price myself and my time. Major headache here. Would love some tips. Chris said, I'd love to be able to talk with you a little bit about that. Do you need a consultant? Let's move on to the coach, okay? Now, I do a lot of coaching, okay? I also do a lot of consulting, but I also do a lot of coaching. Now, what's the difference between a coach and a consultant? Well, a coach starts right here. A coach creates a game plan for your business that you can implement and profit from later. Now, a coach, the easiest way to explain a coach is by giving it to you in a sports analogy. Okay, so just recently, the Eagles and the Patriots played in the Super Bowl, and the most loved and hated coach in the NFL is the Patriots coach, a guy by the name of Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick is a really interesting guy. He's a football guy. But what Bill Belichick is known for is creating a game plan. So what a coach will do is he'll create a game plan. He'll teach you the game plan. He'll practice the game plan with you. He'll help you implement the game plan, and he'll make in-game corrections. Okay, this is what a coach does. And then once again, let's take this in all aspects of life. Okay, so if you're in business, okay, if you're in the business world, chances are you may need this. You may need a coach to say, hey, listen, hey, I'm thinking about leaving this career and moving into this career, and I need a game plan to be able to get my business from here to here. So a coach can sit down with you, they can ask you incredible questions, and they can help create a game plan for you. Then what they'll do is they're going to teach you the game plan. So for instance, in my world, so when I was doing church consulting, I would consult a church. If you go back to this slide here, I would consult the church. I would assess their current reality. I'd report it to them objectively and honestly. Then I'd give them prescriptions for change. So now they have the prescriptions to change. But they're like, well, wait a second. It would be really great if there was somebody who could walk alongside me for a period of 90 days or 120 days or 6 months or even a year and coach me through these changes. So you see the mindset? So a consultant gives you an opinion. A coach is going to take you around the arm, and they're going to play a very important role in your life where they're going to create a game plan for you. Now, how many of your businesses you need a game plan? You sort of know what you want to do. You want to do Facebook ads. You want to do coaching. You want to do funnel design. You want to do pastoring. You want to cut hair. That you want to do nails. You want to, do marriage and family therapy. You know what you want to do, okay? You know what you want to do. You just don't know quite how to do it. Well, a coach would probably be good for you. They're going to create a game plan. Okay, they're going to create a game plan for you, and then they're going to teach you this game plan. So my world, where I'm at right now, what I do is I work with people who want to launch businesses or launch products or have a life-changing message that they can offer the world that's going to be able to make a positive difference in this world. So what I'll do is I'll listen to them and I'll create a game plan for them. So I've created a 7-step game plan for someone to take an idea and take it from ideation to activation in no time at all. So I've got a game plan. So I can create the game plan for them. Then I can teach them the game plan. So it's 7 steps. So let me teach you the 7 different steps. Then I can practice with them so I can get in there. and I can practice the game plan with them. I can help them implement the game plan into their business, and then I can help them make in-game corrections. So if they're beginning to go the wrong direction, I can stop them and move them on the right path. Now, here's what you have to know. Bill Belichick, as the coach for the Patriots, is never responsible for the results. A consultant and a coach are only responsible for the guide. They're not responsible for the results. Who's responsible for the result? Tom Brady's got to make the pass. Gronkowski's got to make the catch, and he's got to run it into the end zone. The defense has got to stop them. Okay, special teams has got to implement. Okay, so we're only responsible for creating a game plan, teaching you the game plan, helping you practice the game plan, implementing in-game corrections, or implementing the game plan and then making in-course corrections. That's what we're responsible for. Ultimately, though, you have to do the work. So you have to ask yourself the question with a coach is, one, am I ready to learn? Am I at the point in my life where I'm now ready to take my business to the next level, and I need a coach who's going to walk alongside of me for a period of time and help me create a game plan, teach me the game plan, practice game plan, implement the game plan, and in-game corrections. Here's what a coach is not, and this is where some of you get in trouble. Now, where I've run into trouble with clients, I can always tell when I do a great job for a client and then when a client really struggles with me. It's always about the mindset of what they view my role as. And you have to understand, as someone who's going to pay a lot of money, who's going to pay a lot of money for one of these coaches, consultants, guides, mentors, and implementers, you have to know what you need in order to maximize their skill set, okay? So if you already have a business that's up and running, you've already made lots of money, and you're trying to figure out why it's stagnant, hire a consultant. They'll be able to assess your current reality, report it to you objectively and honestly, and they'll give you prescriptions for changes, and then you can go change them. If you're at the point where you're trying to launch a business or launch a new product or launch a new service, okay, or you're ready to move from mompreneur or dadpreneur to more of an agency, or you want to hire employees, then a coach would be for you. This coach will help you create a game plan to do that, okay? But a consultant and coach don't do the work for you. Bill Belichick doesn't make the pass. Bill Belichick simply puts the game plan in, and you use your strengths and talents to make the pass. Now, here's the thing. Consultants they assume that you have some kind of weakness. And so on the SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, a consultant is going to start with the weakness. Okay, a consultant is going to start with the weakness. They're going to start with what you're doing wrong, and they're going to help you make it right. Whereas a coach is going to start with a strength. A coach is going to say, what are you good at? Now let's build a business around that, or let's launch a product around that, or let's create a service around that, or let's make a nonprofit around that, or let's make some money around what you're good at, okay? So a consultant will start with your weakness. A coach will start with your strength. The third one is the guide, okay? The third one is the guide. Okay, now what is a guide? A guide is just follow me. So in my business, and with what I'm doing right now, let's take ClickFunnels, for instance, because Russell Brunson is the face of the place with ClickFunnels. Russell Brunson, with where he is in life, he now is the guide for thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the world. He's not consulting anybody. He's not coaching anybody. He is the guide. He's the one that says, just follow me. So what a guide will do is a guide will come and he will perhaps, or she, I keep saying he, I mean that in a neutral way. Okay, what a guide will do is say, listen, I've been to the mountaintop, just simply do what I did and you'll get the same results, okay? So he'll say, just follow me, do what I did. And so a lot of times a guide will put the strategy, and that's what's needed here, will put the strategy, and I'm gonna clarify this, what kind of strategy, and I don't mean this negatively, but is going to document a generic strategy that can be implemented. Okay, he's going to document a generic strategy that can be implemented. This is what a guide does. A guide says, hey, just follow me, so do what I did. And I documented my strategy, my very generic strategy. And if you follow this, then you can, not will, but you can, you may, you might get similar results, okay? So this is where, if you need a guide, you need to either go really inexpensive or pay a ton of money. Now, a guide is, so you may need to buy a book. So Russell Brunson has the .com Secrets book, the Expert Secrets book. Okay, you can go buy his book. Okay, it's a guide. Or you can go buy, this is where you may buy a training course, an online training course. Okay, you may just need a guide. Hey, I need to learn how to do Facebook ads. Amy Porterfield's got a course on how to do Facebook ads. I'm not going to hire her as a coach. I'm not going to hire her as a consultant, but I'm going to buy her stuff and she's going to be my guide. She's going to give me a generic strategy that I can follow, and then I can tweak it and make it specific to my particular business. Well, a guide. So buy a book, buy an online course. You may need that. Or big time here, the third thing is you may need to jump into some kind of mastermind group. Okay, so this is a guide is going to offer a book, a online course, or some kind of mastermind group. Now, there's different levels of mastermind, and so this particular level that I'm talking about is a low-level mastermind where you're probably going to be in a group of 12 to 24 people. You're going to be online. Okay, you're going to be online with people. You're not going to rub shoulders with them. You're just going to see them online. The coach will come in, or the guide will come in and give some guidance, some training, and some coaching. We'll give his generic or her generic strategy, and then you guys will do peer-to-peer accountability on whether you're implementing that guide. That's a low-level mastermind. So when you look at the guide right here, okay, how does it manifest itself? Okay, so how can I do this? It's going to manifest in books, online courses, or low-level mastermind. Okay, you're going to pay somewhere between $20 for a book to $1,000 for a course to maybe $3 to $5 grand for a low-level mastermind. Okay, so that's what you need. So what do you need? Do you need a consultant? Do you need a coach? Or do you need a guide? This is incredibly important. Here's what a lot of people do. What a lot of people will do is they will go and they'll hire a guide first. Okay, and they'll come and say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to buy this guy's online course, or I'm just going to join his membership group, or I'm just going to buy his book, and I'm going to try to implement it on my own. And what happens if you're not careful is if you're not there yet, okay? So in other words, if you already don't have a business, or you don't have a product, you don't have a service, you don't have an idea, if you're not there yet and you get a guide, you're going to get ultimately frustrated because a guide is going to overwhelm you. Okay, it's going to be overwhelming to you because there's so many steps, there's so many processes, there's so many things that you have to do. This is 100% reliant upon you. And even though he's a guide, he's just following. He's just in the boat ahead of you, and you're just trying to keep up with him. Okay, he's not taking you step by step. She's not taking you step by step. She's not holding your hand and implementing it with you specifically to your business. He's just showing you a generic way. Okay, so be cautious with guides. Guides are incredibly, incredibly valuable. If you already know what business you're in, you already know who you are, you know who you're serving, you know who your target audience is, you really know what your product is, you're just trying to look for a way to implement that product without having to hire an implementer, a guide would be good for you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next level then is a mentor. The next level is a mentor. Now, let's talk a little bit about what a mentor is. If you don't have a mentor in your life, you need a mentor in your life. And mentors can run in various forms. Okay, once again, back in the church world, when I was a pastor, we encouraged so many people to have mentors in their life because the number one job of a mentor, okay, is to protect you from an outside threat. Okay, to protect you from an outside threat. That's their number one job, is to protect you from that outside threat. Because if you think about it, mentors are seasoned individuals. These are people who've been there, they've done that, and they're sort of along in life, and now they view their role as to come back and to shepherd and to guide and to guard the next generation. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily have to be age. Okay, it could just be, hey, these people are just not as advanced as I am, and I've got a loving, caring mentorship heart, so I'm going to come and I'm going to protect them. They always view their role as a mentor. Their first role is to protect you from an outside threat. So if you were to look at the SWOT analysis, as a strength, a weakness, an opportunity, and a threat, a mentor is going to start with a threat, okay? Whereas a coach will start with the strength, a consultant is going to start with your weakness, a guide is all about opportunity, a mentor is all about protecting you from threats. What outside forces could be coming against you that can derail your entire operation? That's what a mentor does, okay? And every one of us needs some kind of mentor who can speak truthful and honestly to us, where we can share our heart, share our mind, share what's going on, and give them we're not, you're not putting any butter or any icing on the cake here, okay? You're going to give it to them raw, because you want a mentor to be able to put their arm around you and to guide you in a true manner, or the mentor will be rendered useless if you lie to them. So they need to see the ugly. They need to see the raw. They need to see you without makeup on. Okay, this is the mentor. This is the person who can, see something in your personality and give you some wisdom on it. This is a person who can see you going down the wrong path in your business and can stop you in your tracks and give you different type of guidance. This is the person who can call you to account when you're not doing what you should do, and you actually cherish this. You don't put up walls and barriers. See, sometimes consultants and coaches try to bring accountability to you, but you don't have that type of relationship with them where you're just vulnerable and open and honest, and they haven't put on the hat of mentor. And so what happens is when they bring accountability to you, you have a tendency to push back. Whereas when a mentor, if you truly have a good mentor in your life and you're submitting yourself to them, then a mentor can bring accountability to them, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have your best interest in mind, and you will submit to them wholeheartedly because you know that their number one role is to protect you from an outside threat. Another role is they need to, how do you spell it? Extrapolate potential from you, okay? Extrapolate, I don't know how you spell that word. There you go. Extrapolate potential from you. This is what a mentor does. So sometimes, as a daddy, I take on the role of mentor for my kids. And so, if I see my daughter not giving her best at school, I have a choice to put on a lot of different hats. I can be her consultant. I can assess her current reality and say, hey, listen, babe, you're flunking. You're not doing very good. If you continue it, you may get a D at best. Okay. And here's what you got to do to change it. That's a consultant. As a coach, I can say, hey, babe, let's sit down and let's create a game plan for what we can do to get better in math. Okay. A guide can say, hey, listen, I was great at calculus. Just here's how you get great at calculus. But a mentor can put your arm around them and say, hey, listen, you can do better than this. And then you can tap into their psyche and into their heart, and you can begin pulling and extrapolating the most incredible amount of potential from them. Okay, you speak truth to them, you build them up, you lift them up, you motivate them, you encourage them. You should always leave a phone call from your mentor feeling better than when you started the phone call with them. Even if they have to deliver negative news, they have a way of just extrapolating the most positive stuff out of you. Okay, it makes sense to you when you're done with them. Why? Because you've got the mindset that says, I'm coming to them for hope. And I know that they're here to protect me, and I know that they're here to extrapolate potential from me. Therefore, I'm going to just submit myself to them and watch what they do to me. Okay, every one of us needs some kind of mentor in our life, but a mentor does not care about results. A mentor cares about the person. Okay, I have one person, actually two people, but one where I'm really hands-on with them, where I mentor this person in life. Okay. And I honestly, for most of my clients, I care whether their business is successful or not. With this person, I don't. But I do care whether this person is successful, not their business, but this person. Because this person that I talk with and I mentor, and I protect from outside threats, because I put on that role of daddy to them, not daddy as in fatherhood, but daddy as in, Big Bear, Papa Bear. I really look at them and I'm very suspicious about outside. I'm honestly, to be honest with you, I'm suspicious about their friends. I'm suspicious about mom and dad. I'm suspicious about certain things with this particular person because I'm really protecting them from an outside threat. And if I see them getting some negative influence from the outside, my first thing is I want to jump in and protect him. Why? Because I care about the person, not about the process. I care about the person, not about his product. I care about the person, not about his grades. I care about the person. Why? Because I'm here to protect the person. And you put this in the role of shepherding, and then I'm going to move on. A shepherd, if you think about a shepherd, it's a thankless job, okay? But a shepherd, does he care whether a whether a sheep is, what's the is pregnant or not, whether they're going to reproduce more sheep. No. A shepherd cares about protecting that sheep, and all he can do is lead him and guide them, but he's looking for the wolves. He's looking for the lions. He's looking for the bears. He's there to protect them. When one runs off, he goes after him and brings him back to the fold, because he knows if that sheep gets too far away, he's vulnerable. And so he cares about the vulnerability of that sheep, and he brings those sheep back to the fold, and he knows within the fold there's protection. Okay? And so he doesn't necessarily care about the day-to-day result. He cares about protecting, and that's what a mentor does. So who do you have in your life that is mentoring you? Maybe you need to hire a mentor or ask someone. And then finally, what about the implementer? What about the implementer? Do you need an implementer? Now, an implementer, this person does what you can't or shouldn't do, okay? An implementer does what you can't or should not do. This is incredibly important, okay? In my world, there's a lot of people who are very good at what they do, okay? You're a great, I was talking with a guy today, and he's really, really good at helping people overcome anxiety. Really good with that. What does he suck at? He sucks at building funnels. He sucks at writing copy. He sucks at doing emails. He sucks at creating game plans for his business. That's what he's not good at that. What's he great at? He's great at helping you overcome anxiety. So what happens is if we're not careful in our business, okay, because everything's so hands-on, we can just have access to it. What's going to happen is you will take the strength away from your business, and you're going to start implementing. So you're going to start writing copy, or you're going to start building funnels. You're going to start doing Facebook ads, and you're not any good at that. And so what happens is your business suffers because you've taken your energy away from what you're great at, and you've been doing something that you're not great at just because somewhere along the line somebody told you that you could. And you may be suffering from that, and you may need to say, stop. I'm going to go hire someone to do something that I can't or should not do, okay? Why should I not do it? I should not do it because someone else can do it just as good or if not better than me, and I can focus on what I'm great at, okay? And so you need to know whether you should hire an implementer. Now let's talk about an implementer, okay? An implementer, this person who implements, they should be a specialist, okay? Okay, they should be a specialist. Now, what do I mean as specialist? Okay, in marketing or in business, you have generalists who can do, this is sort of the jack of all trades, and you have the specialist who sucks at almost everything, but they're great at this one thing. This is what you want to do. Okay, so if I was hiring someone to do Facebook ads with me, okay, I want to hire someone who's great at Facebook ads. This is their specialty. If I'm going to hire an implementer, I'm going to hire someone who's great, who's above average, who's way better than I am to implement something. I'm not going to hire a generalist, okay, to do this particular role, okay? I'm going to hire a specialist. So if I'm going to hire a copywriter, I want the best copywriter. If I'm going to hire a graphic designer, I want to hire a great graphic designer. I don't want to hire a graphic designer who's good with graphic design, and is good with copy, and who's good with this, and it's not just going to get good. I don't want good. I want great. And if you're going to hire an implementer, go get great. Okay, make sure that when you hire an expert, when they're done, it looks like an expert was there. Let me give you another case in point. Yesterday, I had to call my landscaper, and I had to fire my landscaper. And I said, hey, I said, we're not going to use you this week. And he goes, well, why not? I said, I don't know how to tell you this, so I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to be brutally blunt. I said, but I paid you to come do the yard last Wednesday. I said, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure you did my yard. I said, and when I hire a specialist to do something for me, I want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that person was there, they did the job, they left their fingerprints everywhere, and it just feels amazing. I heard someone who's selling online house cleaning, and she does a great job doing this. And she was talking about, like, have you ever had your house cleaned by somebody and you come home and you can't tell whether they've been there or not? Well, that's no good, right? So a specialist leaves you beyond a shadow of a doubt that they've been there, they've done that, okay? So what do you need? Consultant, coach, guide, mentor, or implementer. You need to know where you fall on that line. Now, why is that important? The reason why that's important is if you don't know which one you need, chances are you may hire the wrong one. And if you hire the wrong one, you're going to have different expectations for that person, okay? So I do a really good job with coaching, but there's a couple cases where I believe I've done a really good job, but my client does not feel like I've done a good job. Well, really what they wanted was they did not want to coach at all. That's what I offer. They didn't want to coach. What they wanted was an implementer. They wanted someone to do the job for them. Okay, so they wanted someone to build a funnel. They wanted someone to write copy. They wanted someone to, to just tell me what I need and just go do it. And so really what they needed was they needed an implementer. They needed to hire an implementer and not a coach, okay? But they thought what they needed was a coach. So you got to be crystal clear on what you need. So if you need a coach, okay, so if you got an idea, game plan, and you want to go do the work, well, a coach is perfect for you. Bill Belichick doesn't pass the ball. Bill Belichick doesn't make a tackle. Bill Belichick doesn't hike the ball. Bill Belichick doesn't kick the ball through the uprights. Bill Belichick creates the game plan for the athlete to implement. So if you are the athlete, and I'm saying that in a proverbial term, okay, if you are the business owner or the business person and you just need someone to coach you, to tell you what to do, you are an ideal client for a coach. My best clients are the people who understand that their role in our relationship is to do, and my role in the relationship is to create. Okay, that's what you need. Okay, if you are a business or a person, you got you got money coming in, but your money has slowed down, you need to know that I need a consultant. Okay, I need a consultant. It wouldn't do me any good to go hire an implementer because I don't know what I'm asking he or she to implement. And so some of you, you need a consultant to help you assess your current reality and create prescriptions for growth. But what you're doing is you're going out and now you're hiring a Facebook ads guy. And you spend all this money on a Facebook ads guy and you're wondering why your Facebook ads aren't converting. Well, the reason why your Facebook ads aren't converting is you just hired somebody to pay a lot of money to amplify your problem, not to make your problem go away. And really what you need is you need a consultant who can help you create an assessment so you know where you are, so you know where you can go. Then you can hire a Facebook person to come and run ads for you because you know what to do then, okay? Some of you need a guide, okay? Some of you you're lost and you're not ready for a coach yet, okay? You're not there yet. Or perhaps you're past a coach, okay? And so you've done this, but you need some guidance on one aspect of your business. We'll go hire a guide, get it right, read a book, educate yourself, get an online course, join a low-level mastermind. Okay, that some of you are there. Some of you need a mentor. Some of you just self-sabotage. Okay, and you don't know why. You don't know why you self-sabotage. You just do, and you need someone to protect you from the outside threats. Some of you are just are too naive. Okay, and you just open yourself. This is me. You just open yourself up to all kinds of problems because you're too naive. You're too trusting. Okay, and you need a mentor to come in and show you how to guard yourself and protect yourself. Perhaps you need a mentor to be able to answer the question whether you should take a risk in your business or not. Okay, perhaps you need a mentor in your life to keep you from getting in bad relationships or to keep you from leaving a relationship that you think is bad that's not really bad. Perhaps you need a mentor in your life. Or perhaps you just need an implementer, someone that you can hire, pay some money to. They can do the job. They'll take a lot of stress off you and your business will increase. There's one level that I haven't talked about, and that is the level of peer leadership. Peer leadership. I haven't talked about that one. And what peer leadership is where, and this would cost you a lot of money, okay? This is going to cost you somewhere between 10 and 50 grand, okay, for peer leadership. Peer leadership is where you find an expert, someone like a Russell Brunson, someone like a Liz Binney, someone like a Tony Robbins, someone who's a high-level achiever. And what you do is you don't hire them for coaching because they're way too expensive. They'd be over 100 grand to coach you. But you join their peer-level leadership program called a mastermind or an inner circle, okay? You join that. And what you do is you get access, and this is really important. This is probably one I should put on there. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to put this on here. How do I exit this? Perhaps this is what you need. You need access. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. I'll share this with you real quick so you can see it. This is what you need. You need access, okay? access. So this is where you have peer level leadership, where you're going to join their mastermind. They may do a coaching call with you, typically not more than one. Okay, them. It's more of an orientation call than it is anything, getting to know you. Then you're going to attend their events. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6 events per year, where you're going to go and you're going to get live teaching and training in a forum. Okay, but you're going to have peers, people at the same level as you. See, low-level masterminds, there's going to be people at all different levels. At a high-level mastermind, people are going to be at the same level as you, okay, or higher. Okay, you always, in my mind, you always want to be the lowest guy in a peer-level mastermind, because you're going to be able to extrapolate all kinds of information from these great guys. So you're going to be able to go there, and you're going to be able to learn from them in a live forum. You're going to have peer-to-peer accountability. You're going to have peer-to-peer training, where you're going to learn from each other. You're going to teach each other, okay, but you're going to have access to your guru, to your expert. And it's through Voxer, where you're going to be able to just push a button and say, hey, Chad, I got a question. Hey, I'm getting ready to launch a brand new online product, and I need to know, should I price it at $497 or $997? Click the button, and then sometime today, I'm going to be able to hear it and say, hey, John, hey, great question. Hey, based on what I know from you, you got the mojo. You should charge $997 with an upsell for $497. You really should be at $1597. Hope that helps. I'm off. And you would have access to this person pretty much any time that you need it. That's called paying for access. Now, you're not going to get an hour call. You're going to get 30 seconds here, 2 minutes here. But their 30 seconds or their 2 minutes is incredibly valuable, and it's going to unlock, that's a key word that you're looking for. Access is going to unlock your potential and propel you to the next level. So what do you need? Do you need a consultant? Do you need a coach? Do you need a guide? Do you need a mentor? Do you need an implementer? Or do you need access? Only you can answer that, but make sure you answer it the right way. If you need some help with that, I'd be more than happy to jump on a quick little 5-minute phone call and answer that for you. Because I don't want you hiring me as a coach if you really need an implementer. I have implementation services, but if you really need access, then you need to pay for access. If you really need a mentor, then I need to point you in the right direction for a mentor. If you need a guide, you either need to buy my online course or let me send you to a guide, okay? I want to be able to help you get exactly what you need so you don't blow a lot of money. Because a lot of people, I'm seeing this in the ClickFunnels group, I got in the guy yesterday using the word thief and scam and fraud. And I'm like, dude, that person was neither a thief, a scam, nor a fraud. What it was you just hired a service that you did not need. And they provided a product that you did not need. And because of that, you felt like you got something you felt like you got ripped off. And you didn't get ripped off. Really what you got was you got exactly what you paid for, but you did not need that product, okay? It's like if you take a car, if your car's broken down and you get it towed to the dealer, and the dealer goes in and changes your engine, and you pay $5,000 to get your engine changed, and your car still doesn't run, you're going to be really pissed off. Well, really what you needed was you just needed a tank of gas, but you didn't have a consultant do an assessment to figure out what's going on. You just said, hey, I think my engine's broke. Hey, can you replace my engine? Here's $5,000, go replace my engine. The mechanic replaced your engine, and your car still didn't work. Well, you're going to be really pissed. You're going to feel like you got scammed. Well, you didn't get scammed. You got exactly what you paid for, but you didn't need what you paid for. So a good consultant can help assess the situation, assess your current reality, and help you get what you need. Well, guys, I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. This training is in 2 pieces. I did one full training, okay, and then I got cut off at the end, and then I'm doing this little abbreviated training as well. And so thank you guys for sticking around. Perhaps you have a question that I can answer. Maybe you need to know, which one do you need? Do you need a coach, a consultant, a guide, a mentor, an implementer, or do you need access? Let me just throw it on here and let me know. I'd be happy to answer that question for you. Which one do you need? And also another question we haven't talked about is, how much should you pay for this? How much should you pay for this? Okay, we probably should do an entire training on this particular thing. Kelly says, great live video chat. Thanks, Kelly. Really appreciate that. Kelly, your role in my life is as a guide, right? So Kelly, you attend my CF 101 class. We're building it right now. It's in beta. It's not really a class. It's just we're building a class together. And so I'm a guide in Kelly's life, where she'll come on and she'll watch me teach and then take my teaching and do something with it. Okay, so she's a guide. Okay, Kelly says, you bet. Absolutely. And everybody needs a good guide. Okay, guides are typically inexpensive. Okay, so you don't pay a ton for a guide. Okay. You go down and, go to Hoover Dam, they're going to have the dam guide, that guy. You're not going to pay a lot. You can pay a little bit, okay? You're going to pay a little bit for that. And so you should do that. So you shouldn't pay a lot of money for a guide. Guide should run you somewhere between $20 and $1,000. Okay, Kelly says he's a great guide. Thank you, Kelly. I really appreciate that. So a guide should run you between $20 and $1,000. Don't pay any more than $1,000 simply for a guide. It's way too much money. A consultant, you probably on a low end, you're going to be somewhere between $5,000, and on a high end, you probably could be somewhere around $25,000. You're going to be somewhere between $5,000 and $25,000 for a consultant. And what's so interesting about a consultant is they're going to have the least amount of time with you, but you're going to pay the most amount of money. Why? Because a great consultant can come in and look at your weakness and help turn that weakness into a positive ROI quickly. Okay, so you can be somewhere between $5,000 and $25,000. A solid coach is going to be, depending on how long you need them. Most coaching programs are somewhere between 30 days and 90 days. Okay, if you need a coach more than 90 days, there's something wrong with you. So you shouldn't need more than 90 days for a coach. I can't tell you what they should be. Kelly says guides are great for self-starters. Absolutely, Kelly. A guide is great for a self-starter. All I can tell you is a coach, like my coaching, runs you anywhere between $3,500 and $12,000, somewhere for the 90-day program. And that's about typical for a decent coach. Some coaches will charge you a lot more, but just for a good, solid coach, average coach, somewhere between $3,500 and $12,000, depending on where you are. Okay, and it also depends on what type of coaching you need. And if the coach can help you make money, it's probably going to charge you a little bit more money. If you have a relationship coach, it's just going to help. You're probably not going to pay a lot for a relationship coach. Why? Because you don't value relationships in a monetary standpoint. So you're not going to pay a ton for that. A health and fitness coach, depending on how desperate you are, depends on how much you're going to pay. Okay, but if you go down, you're probably going to pay $100 a session. If you get a personal trainer, somewhere between $50 and $100 a session. But if you get a health and fitness coach that can really help you lose 100 pounds or more, you're going to pay a lot of money for that, just depending on how desperate you are. So coaches are all over the place. A mentor, I would really encourage you to pay for a mentor, and so you're probably going to pay them, somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000, depending on what you need them for. Okay, if they're really, really successful, if they've been really successful in life, you're going to pay a lot more money than that. Okay, a lot more money. I mean, you could pay 20 times that. But if it's more like a dad figure, okay, so someone that you really look up to, but you just want to pay them so you can secure their time, $1,000 to $2,000 should be pretty good for that. An implementer, they're going to be pretty spendy. If you're going to hire someone, if you're Facebook ads, you should be somewhere between $1,000 and $3,000 per month. If you're going to hire someone for Facebook ads, if you're going to do someone for copy, you should be somewhere between $150 to $300 per email. If they're a really good copywriter, if they're an okay copywriter, you'll be somewhere between $50 and $100 an email. If anybody's charging you less than $50 for an email, don't hire them, because you can probably write at the same level. So $50 to $100 per email is for an average one, but $150 to $300 for a great one. Like Chris Orzechowski was on earlier, you're going to pay him $300 for an email. It's well worth it. He's I think 7 of his last 10 launches have done over $1 million. You'll gladly pay $300 for an email if he's going to get you $1 million in return. Okay, graphic designers are all over the place. Funnel builders, I'll tell you, you're going to be somewhere between $1,500 and $7,500 for a good solid funnel. Okay, if you're looking for that. And access, depending on who you're asking access to. I'm 24. Not my mastermind level with access is $24,900. It's a year program. I think Russell Brunson's is $25,000, for his inner circle, but you don't get much time with him, right? Whereas a guy like me, I'm going to give you a ton more time, do a ton more with you. A guy like that, he's way above my pay grade. We may be at the same level financially, but you're going to get this much from him and you're going to get this much from me. Why? Because I got to offer that much, because I'm not at his level. And so you're going to be somewhere, if you're access, you're going to be somewhere between $12,000 and $50,000, somewhere in that range, if you're going to pay for access. So hope that helps you. Just gives you an idea of what you'd be paying for all of these different types of positions. But know what you need, and it will help you out tremendously. Well, guys, God bless you. Have a great day today, and I'll see you next time on the Monday Morning Coaching.